in every nation in order to improve its external as well as internal security. Of course, we have several different defense systems as well as defense mechanisms as well as defense operators and technologies in every nation. Here also in India, we have various defense system as well as it includes various Indian armed forces such as Indian Navy, Indian Air Force and Indian Army. So, let us discuss about various concepts about defense systems of India. First of all, let us discuss about missiles. Here we have various kinds of missiles as well as technologies adapted in this regard. So, first of all, let us examine what is a missile. Any self-propelled guided system is known as a missile. Any self-propelled guided system. In order to say in Telugu, 𝗬𝗦𝗔𝗧 కలిగినటువంటి ప్రేలుడు స్వభావం ఉండేటటువంటి పదార్థాన్ని మనం ఇక్కడ మిసైల్ అనొచ్చు. ఇన్ అదర్ వర్డ్స్, సెల్ఫ్ ప్రొపెల్డ్ గైడెడ్ సిస్టమ్ ఈజ్ కాల్డ్ ఏ మిసైల్. ఆఫ్ కోర్స్, scientifically it is known as any thrown object is also known as a missile. In order to explain in defense terminology, it is self-propelled guided system, whereas scientifically any thrown object is known as a missile. Apart from the thrown object, a missile contains a targeting or guidance. It should be guided in order to destroy the selected target. It must contain guidance system as well as it must contain a flight system which is not available in case of any thrown object. Of course, it contains an engine as well as a warhead. Here, the classification of missiles could be as follows: surface to surface missiles, surface to air missiles, air to surface missiles, and then air to air missiles. Later we will go in detail about all these things. Missiles belongs to several kinds based on their usage. First one is surface to surface missiles, surface to air missiles, then air to surface missiles, and then air to air missiles. These are the various kinds of missiles. Of course, based on the usage of missiles, they can be categorized as ballistic missiles as well as cruise missiles. We have another two kinds of missiles. First one is ballistic missile as well as cruise missile. The path of every ballistic missile will be in the form of a parabolic way. So, from here to here we are treating it as a powered flight. For a ballistic missile, from here to here we have powered flight. Of course, after reaching certain height, it is considered as a freely falling body. Freely falling body. Up to reaching a certain height, its path is powered or guided by some external equipments. After reaching certain height, it is considered as the ballistic and of course freely falling body. It is governed by the gravity as well as air of the atmosphere. So here, ballistic missile, the path of the ballistic missile is as a parabolic path, as well as the path of cruise missile is of course parallel to the surface of the earth. So, the ballistic missile may cross the atmospheric layers as well as of course cruise missile must follow the path within the atmosphere itself. So, these two are the various kinds of another form of types of missiles. One is ballistic, another one is cruise missile. Here, in order to explain ballistic in detail, it has guided only during the flight. After reaching certain height, it is not guided at all. So, we have different kinds of ballistic missiles. Those are tactical ballistic missiles, theater ballistic missiles, intermediate range or long range ballistic missiles. Here, intermediate range ballistic missiles these are also considered as long range ballistic missiles. Another kind is intercontinental ballistic missiles, and the other thing is submarine launched ballistic missiles. Based on their ranges, based on their ranges, ballistic missiles are categorized as follows. Of course, if we define about the range of a ballistic missile, it is the distance between the launching portion to the reaching portion. This distance is known as range. For any ballistic missile, the distance between the place from where we launch the missile and the place where the target is selected, the distance between these two is known as range. Of course, if the distance is between 150 kilometers to 300 kilometers, then those missiles are considered as tactical ballistic missiles. Tactical ballistic missiles in the means the missiles which are having the range 150 to 300 kilometers range are known as TBMs. In specific, we call it as TBMs. Shaurya and Prahar and Hataf. These are the various kinds of tactical ballistic missiles. So, which of the following is a tactical ballistic missile? This type of questions may face you in your examinations. The examples of TBMs are Shaurya, Prahar and Hataf. And if we say about theater ballistic missiles, the range of these kind of missiles falls in between 300 to 3500 kilometers distance. The range of theater ballistic missiles is 300 to 3500 kilometers. Of course, these are again classified into two types. One is short range ballistic missile. Short range ballistic missile, in order to say it in Telugu, 𝗧𝗦𝗔𝗧 ballistic క్షిపణులు అంటాం దీన్ని. Short range ballistic missiles, example of these kind of missiles is Prithvi 1, 2 and 3 of course. And another kind is medium range ballistic missiles. Agni 1 and Agni 2 are the various examples for these medium range ballistic missiles. Madhya Shreni ballistic missiles. And Shaheen also falls under this category, MRBM. And we have another kind of ballistic missiles type, IRBM or intermediate range ballistic missiles, or these are also considered as long range ballistic missiles. Dirgha Shreni kshipanuలు. This falls under the range between 3500 kilometers to 5500 kilometers. The missiles which are having the range 3500 to 5500 kilometers are considered as LRBMs. Of course, we have Agni 3 and Agni 4 as the LRBM kind missiles. These Agni 3 and Agni 4 are also ballistic missiles of long range nature. And here we have intercontinental ballistic missiles, Khandantara kshipanuలు. ICBM stands for intercontinental ballistic missiles. These are having a range over 5500 kilometers range. Of course, Agni 5 falls as ICBM. Another kind of ballistic missiles are submarine launched ballistic missiles. Sagarika or K-15 are considered as SLBM. The question may be as follows. Which of the following is a theater ballistic missile? The options may be Shaurya, Agni, Sagarika and Prithvi. Of course, Prithvi is considered as short range ballistic missile. This comes under theater ballistic missile. Here SRBMs and MRBMs are also considered as theater ballistic missile. Hence, Prithvi is also considered as TBM. Hence, these type of questions may come into our examination. So, another kind of question, Shaurya belongs to which category of ballistic missile? The options may be theater ballistic missile, intermediate range ballistic missile, tactical range ballistic missile, intercontinental ballistic missile. In such a situations, the answer may be tactical ballistic missile. So, these kind of questions may arise in our examinations. Hence, by knowing all those things thoroughly, we may able to answer the questions perfectly. If we see about cruise missiles, most of its path lies in the atmosphere itself. It contains a jet engine or turbofan in order to take its flight. So, in order to develop these kind of ballistic missiles as well as cruise missiles like Brahmos, in India, DRDO is established, Defence Research Development Organization. It was established in the year 1950 with headquarters located at New Delhi. So, DRDO has the responsibility of developing the defense systems as well as the missiles for using various usages and various kinds. So, it is the clubbed mechanism or institution of technological development establishment and Directorate of Technical Development and Production. Of course, it worked under the Ministry of Defence. So, DRDO worked under Ministry of Defence with around 52 labs around India, 5,000 number of scientists and 25,000 number of other scientific and technical experts are always working in order to design multiple defense systems in DRDO. So, the project which led to prepare surface to air missiles is Project Indigo. It was developed and implemented by DRDO in the year 1960. So, it is intended for developing surface to air missiles during 1960s. Later, after establishment of Project Indigo, there was established another project called Project Devil as well as Project Valiant in 1970s in order to develop surface to air missiles as well as intercontinental ballistic missiles. With the various experiences and research analysis from these projects, it was led to Integrated Guided Missile Development Program, in shortly IGMDP, Integrated Guided Missile Development Program, Samagra Nirdeshaka Ksipani Abhiruddhi Karyakramam. It was established in the year 1980 in order to develop various kinds of short-range ballistic missiles as well as medium-range ballistic missiles as well as intermediate-range ballistic missiles. So, which organization has set up in order to develop the missile systems in India means DRDO is the main organization which has been working under Ministry of Defence in order to establish all these kinds of missiles. It is the only organization with 52 laboratories established around India with 5,000 scientists and 25,000 other technical crew is the main advantage of DRDO. So, under IGMDP, Integrated Guided Missiles Development Program, DRDO developed various missiles namely Prithvi, Akash, Agni and Trishul, of course Dhanush. So, these kind of missiles were designed and developed under IGMDP by DRDO. In detail, Prithvi is the short range ballistic missile. Prithvi is the short range ballistic missile with liquid fuel. We have various Prithvi missiles based on its ranges. So, Prithvi 1 is the army version of SRBM missile with a range 150 kilometers. It can able to carry the warhead of weight 1000 kilograms. And Prithvi 2 is the Air Force version of Prithvi missile, ballistic missile with a range 350 kilometers. It can able to carry a warhead of weight 500 kgs. And Prithvi 3 is the naval version or Navy version of Prithvi with a range 350 kilometers. It can able to carry 1000 kg warhead. And here Prithvi 3 is considered as the Navy version. Of course, it was renamed with the name Dhanush, where Dhanush is the naval version of Prithvi. It can carry with the Sukanya class petrol vehicles. Sukanya class petrol vehicles. Petrol vehicle in the sense గస్తీ కోసం వినియోగించేటటువంటి నౌకలు, this class of Sukanya. So, this is having a capacity of 500 to 1000 kg warhead carrying capability, of course, of conventional as well as nuclear warheads. it can able to carry conventional as well as nuclear warheads. So, which of the following missiles having the nuclear carrying capability in the sense? Option 1 is Prithvi 1, option 2 is Prithvi 2, option 3 is Prithvi 3 or Dhanush. If and option D may be none of these. In such a situations, we must go with the answer Dhanush, since it is having the capability of carrying nuclear kind of warheads also. And Agni is another kind of ballistic missile with medium range as well as intermediate range as well as intercontinental ballistic missile characteristics. So, the first three Agni missiles, Agni 1, Agni 2 and Agni 3 were developed under IGMDP program. Later, the another versions of missiles, Agni missiles, were separated from IGMDP and they were developed with the project name called Agni itself. So, IGMDP is only the development project for Agni 1, Agni 2 and Agni 3, and Agni 4, Agni 5 and Agni 6 were developed under the project name Agni itself. So, in detail, Agni 1 is having a range 700 to 1250 kilometers range, falls under medium range ballistic missile, and Agni 2 is having a range 2000 to 3000 kilometers. Of course, it belongs to intermediate range ballistic missile. So, one of the ballistic missile of medium range is Agni 1, and Agni 2, Agni 3 and Agni 4 are considered as intermediate range ballistic missile. Of course, in this area also we can expect a question like which of the following is an integrated range intermediate range ballistic missile. The options may be Agni 1, Agni 4, Agni 5 and Agni 2. Of course, Agni 2 is the intermediate range ballistic missile. So, Agni 3 is a kind of Agni missile with a range 3500 to 5500 kilometers with a characteristic of intermediate range ballistic missile developed under integrated guided missiles development program. Whereas, Agni 4 is having a range 3000 to 4000 kilometers of course of IRBM category. It is developed under Agni project. And Agni 5, this is also called as intercontinental ballistic missile. Of course, this is also called as anti-satellite missile. Anti-satellite missile, in order to get security from other enemy countries' satellites, we use it as anti-satellite missile also. This is the special characteristic of Agni 5. Agni 5 is the missile which consists of a range 5000 to 8000 kilometers range. It falls under intercontinental ballistic missile, Khandantara Kshipani antam dinni, intercontinental ballistic missile. It is also developed under Agni project, and Agni 6 missile is under development phase. It is having a range of 8000 to 10,000 kilometers. It is also considered as intercontinental ballistic missile. It is also developed under Agni program. Why we are calling Agni 5 as anti-satellite missile means it can travel around 600 kilometers in the space. During its flight, Agni 5 is having the capability of traveling 600 kilometers in the space, and it re-enters into the atmosphere. Hence, it is called and used as anti-satellite missile also. Which of the following Agni missiles are having the capability of using like anti-satellite missile? In the sense, the options may be Agni 3, Agni 4, Agni 5 and Agni 2. Maybe the answer will be Agni 5, since it is used as a anti-satellite missile. So, Akash is a medium range ballistic missile. Of course, it is a surface to air operated missile with the advanced technologies like ramjet propulsion system, as well as it is equipped with advanced indigenous radar named as Rajendra radar. So, if we say about ramjet propulsion system, after filled with fuel we must add some oxidizers to the fuel. Then only the fuel that is filled with the missile will be fired or burnt successfully. So in order to omit the weight of oxidizers, ramjet propulsion system utilizes a technology that it can grasp the oxygen from the atmosphere itself and it can use it in the burnt process. So we no need to fill the oxidizers along with the fuel in the conventional process. So ramjet propulsion system is the advanced technology. ఇది వాతావరణంలో ఉన్నటువంటి ఆక్సిజన్ని దానంతట అదే సంగ్రహించుకొని బర్నింగ్ ప్రాసెస్కి లేదా చోదక సమయంలో అవసరమయ్యే శక్తిని సంపాదించుకోవడానికి కావాల్సినటువంటి దహన ప్రక్రియలో ఆక్సిజన్ని వాతావరణం నుంచి దానంతట అదే స్వీకరిస్తుంది. కాబట్టి ఆటోమేటిక్గా మిస్సైల్స్ యొక్క బరువు తగ్గిపోయి అది ఎక్కువ దూరం ప్రయాణించడానికి అవకాశం ఉంటుంది. సో రామ్జెట్ ప్రొపల్షన్ సిస్టమ్ ఈజ్ ద అడ్వాన్స్డ్ టెక్నాలజీ ఇన్ burning the fuels instead of filling the oxidizers each and every time. So Bharat Dynamics Limited is the production wing and as well as nodal agency for developing Akash kind of missiles as well as production also. So Trishul is another kind of missile of short range ballistic missile with a range of 9 kilometers. Even though the range is small, it is designed under SRBM category. It is used as a anti-sea skimmer kind missile. Anti-sea skimmer means ఏదైనా క్షిపణి నౌకల నుంచి తక్కువ ఎత్తులో నుంచి దూసుకుంటూ వచ్చినప్పుడు దాన్ని అడ్డగించడానికి కాను త్రిశూల్ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ మిసైల్స్ని యూజ్ చేస్తాము. సో దోస్ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ missiles are considered as anti-sea skimmer kind missiles. So which of the following missiles is an anti-sea skimmer missile? Means option A Akash, option 2 Agni, option 3 Prithvi and option 4 Trishul. Then we go with the answer Trishul. And these Trishul kind missiles are carried by Brahmaputra class frigates. Previously we discussed about a petrol vehicle, and now we are talking about frigates. Frigates, petrols are the different kind of ships that were used by Navy and that have been using by the Navy. So these Trishul kind of missiles are carried or equipped by Brahmaputra class frigates. So the Trishul kind of missiles were test fired from the Satish Dhawan Space Center, Sriharikota. The launch system of Trishul have been developed by Bharat Dynamics Limited in the year 1998. So these are various concepts about various missiles that were developed under IGMDP. So NAG is called an anti-tank missile. It is equipped with thermal imaging infrared. This technology is used to identify the thermal objects such as tanks of enemy countries. Hence this technology is used to identify the thermal objects like tanks, and NAG is launched to destroy the tanks of other enemy countries. So the carrier which is used to carry the NAG missiles is Namika. This is the land missile carrier of NAG missile. Of course, aerial carriers of NAG are HAL Dhruva and HAL 𝗂𝗍𝗂𝗃. 𝗂𝗍𝗃 stands for Light Combat Helicopter. Light Combat Helicopter, where HAL means Hindustan Aeronautics Limited. These are the two helicopters which are able to carry NAG type of missiles. So aerial carriers are Dhruva and 𝗂𝗍𝗃. Of course, land missile carriers of NAG are Namika. In other words, its abbreviation is NAG missile carrier. In short, Namika. And the production of NAG missiles were cleared in 2009. And the countries Tanzania, Botswana and Morocco are now purchasing these NAG missiles for their domestic use. This Nag missile is the complement of Conquer's missile system belongs to Russia, as well as Milan missile system that belongs to European Union. Which of the following missile is the complement of Conquer's missile system as well as Milan missile system? The option is option A Nag, option B 𝗧𝗦𝗃, option C Brahmos, option D none of these. The answer is Nag. This kind of questions based on the special characteristic of various missiles should be thoroughly understand in order to answer this type of questions. And Bharat Dynamics Limited is the nodal agency and production wing of Nag missiles. Later, Brahmos is the important missile which we discuss now. It is the joint venture of India and Russian defense system. Under this joint venture, Brahmos is developed. This name was invented from the two rivers of Brahmaputra and Moscow river in Russia. This is having a range of 290 kilometers with a speed supersonic. That means it can able to travel with more speed than the sound. Hence, it is considered as the supersonic missile with Mach numbers 5 to 7. The speed of Brahmos missile is 5 to 7 times of the speed of sound. Hence, it is called as supersonic missile. And it is a canister based missile. Canister based means it can contained in a separate carrier called a canister. So from that canister we can able to launch the Brahmos missile. No other specific launchers were needed to launch Brahmos missile. By using this canister we can store this up to so many years, as well as we can carry Brahmos missile with the use of canister to any place. Hence, canister based missiles are easy to use as well as easy to operate, as well as highly portable in order to carry to every place. So these are the special characteristics of Brahmos. And 𝗬𝗏 is another kind of canister based missiles, so that it is also used as with the flexibility like Brahmos. It is also hypersonic surface to surface missile with a range of 750 kilometers. In case of missiles, the range is important. The kind from where it is used, either surface to surface, surface to air, air to surface, or air to air. This kind of information is also very important. And the carriers of few missiles also important, like we discussed earlier about Sukhanya class petrol vehicles for 𝗧𝗦𝗃, etc. So this kind of information is also very important. Brahmos missile is testified successfully on 2nd December 2010 from the integrated test range Chandipur, Orissa. Now the name of this Chandipur station has been modified as Abdul Kalam Island. So this is also comes into the question area. It is also very important point. 𝗧𝗦𝗃 is the naval version of missile which is developed under K-15 or Project 420 or P-420. So 𝗧𝗦𝗃 is developed under K-15. This is also known as missile K-15. It is having the capability of carrying nuclear kind of warheads up to 500 kgs. It is developed by the DRDO Missile Complex, Hyderabad. Of course, DRDO Missile Complex, Hyderabad is now considered as APJ Abdul Kalam Missile Complex from 2015. So the DRDO Missile Complex, Hyderabad was renamed as APJ Abdul Kalam Missile Complex from 2015. This is also one important point. Whereas 𝗧𝗦𝗃 is having the range of 750 kilometers. It is the things about 𝗧𝗦𝗃. And we have few guided bombs which are indigenously developed by DRDO. Of course, those are Sudarshan, Garutma and Garuda. These are the guided bombs, whereas Garutma and Garuda are called as the glided bombs. Sudarshan is the guided bomb, whereas Garutma and Garuda are the glided bombs. So Sudarshan is the laser guided bomb which is the first indigenously laser guided type developed by indigenously DRDO. This is the thing about Sudarshan. Whereas Garutma is having a weight of 1000 kg explosive with a range 100 kilometers. This is of glided type developed indigenously by DRDO. Garuda is another kind of glided bomb which is developed by DRDO indigenously with a range 30 kilometers of weight 1000 kilograms. And when we say about Prahar missile, this is solid fueled missile and surface to surface operated missile. Prahar is the solid fueled surface to surface missile. This is of having characteristics as guided, short range and tactical ballistic missile. Short range tactical ballistic missiles. And this is firstly successfully tested from ITR Chandipur on 21st July 2011. And long range surface to air missile 𝗧𝗦𝗔𝗬𝗃. Previously one question was asked about this 𝗧𝗦𝗔𝗃. This is the jointly developed program of India as well as Israel. This is also known as Barak 8 missile with a range 72 kilometers. Which of the following missiles is the joint venture of India and Israel? This question was previously asked in Group 2 examination, recent Group 2 examination. The answer is 𝗧𝗦𝗔𝗃 or Barak is the answer. So Barak 8 is the another kind of 𝗧𝗦𝗔𝗃, that means long range surface to air missile. And another missile is of air to air missile which is namely Astra, having a range 80 kilometers. This belongs to the category of beyond visual range air to air missile. Beyond visual range, that means దృష్టి క్షేత్రానికి అవతల, beyond the visual range we can operate this kind of missiles. So the special characteristics is highly important in order to face the questions. Hence we must know the special characteristics of various missiles, then only we can answer this type of questions and we will get success in our examination. In India, we established various radars in order to identify the missiles or various defense systems that were launched by the enemy countries. We have developed various radars. So the names of indigenous developed radars are Indra, Arudra, Rajendra, Revati and Rohini. These helped a lot in identifying the objects which were launched by the enemy countries. And we have another ammunition system like Pinaka. This is a multi-barrel rocket system, whereas Arjun is the multi-barrel tank system. Arjun is the multi-barrel tank system. And 𝗳𝗏𝗃, this is developed by Aeronautical Development Agency and Hindustan Aeronautics Limited. This is developed by Aeronautical Development Agency as well as Hindustan Aeronautics Limited. 𝗳𝗏𝗃 is the Indian Air Force and Navy utilized helicopter. This is developed by ADA and 𝗳𝗏𝗃. Again, Lakshya and Nishant are the unmanned aerial vehicles or remotely piloted vehicles. These are designed by Aeronautical Development Establishment. And Netra is lightweight UAV, unmanned aerial vehicle kind. This is highly helped a lot to the National Disaster Response Force during the floods of Uttarakhand. The helicopter which involved in the rescue operations is Netra. And 𝗳𝗏𝗃, this is also developed by Hindustan Aeronautics Limited for helping Indian Air Force and Indian Navy during their rescue and search operations as well as warfare operations. In order to intercept the missiles which were fired by the enemy countries, DRDO already developed various air defense systems which rescue the nation from other enemies' missiles. So the project includes ABM project, Anti-Ballistic Missile project, which is developed by DRDO with its associated organizations and the missiles that were used in this anti-ballistic missile project is Akash and Trishul. Of course, the systems namely the AAD, Advanced Air Defense System, and another one is the Prithvi Advanced Defense System, Aerial Defense System. These are equipped with the long range tracking radars as well as multi-functional control radars. These two radars will help the organizations in order to identify the missiles which were fired by the enemy countries within the atmosphere itself, and identify the after identifying the missiles, Prithvi kind of missiles and Akash kind of missiles were fired in order to intercept those missiles in the atmosphere itself, and they can able to destroy the missiles of enemy countries. Hence, the nation will be rescued and saved from the other missiles. So, these are the advanced missile defense systems which were developed by DRDO and its organized associations. Indian Armed Forces. Indian Armed Forces plays a vital role in search and rescue operations, counter-insurgency operations, and in order to rescue the nation from the enemy countries, it is highly involved a lot. Indian Armed Forces constitutes of three wings, namely Indian Air Force, Indian Navy, and Indian Army. These three are the major organizations which are helpful and considered as Indian Armed Forces. So, Indian Armed Forces are having 1.4 million personnel, so that it become the third largest nation in the world. So, Department of Defense Production is used to develop the equipment which are used by the Indian Armed Forces indigenously. Hence, this is considered as the most important organization. Of course, with 41 ordnance factories around India, these are worked under Ordnance Factory Board. So, Ordnance Factory Board has the responsibility of design and production of the equipment and production which are used by the Indian Armed Forces with its 41 ordnance factories as well as 8 defense public sector units. Those are established in India in these places. Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, this is located at Bangalore, and Bharat Electricals Limited, the headquarter of BEL is located in Bangalore, whereas Bharat Earth Movers Limited, this is also located in Bangalore. Of course, in this area, the question may be asked like, which of the following organization is not located in Bangalore? Then the options is option A, HAL, option B, BEL, option C, BEML, and option D, BDL. Means the answer is BDL. Since BDL is not located in Bangalore, it is located in Hyderabad. Bharat Dynamics Limited, simply abbreviated as BDL, this is located in Hyderabad, and Majgaon Dock Limited, this is located in Mumbai, whereas Garden Ship Limited, Goa Shipyard Limited, this is located in Goa. Garden Reach Shipyard and Engineers located in Kolkata, whereas Midhani is meant for developing the alloys used for different purposes in the armaments and ammunition systems, which is located in Hyderabad. So, Mishra Dhatu Nigam, simply abbreviated as Midhani, this is located in Hyderabad. This is used to develop different alloy metals for specific uses and various uses that are developed for various uses, located in Hyderabad. So, the mottos of Indian Armed Forces is also very important. The motto of Indian Air Force is touch the sky with glory, and the Army Air Force Day is considered as October 8. For Navy, the motto is may the Lord of Water to be auspicious unto us. This is the motto of Indian Navy. Navy Day is considered as December 4th. Indian Army, the motto is service before self is the motto of Indian Army. Army Day is considered as January 15th. Various awards which were given to the personals in Indian Armed Forces is also important. The highest decoration of Wartime Gallantry Award is termed as Param Veer Chakra. The remaining awards which were followed to this Param Veer Chakra is Mahavir Chakra and Veer Chakra. These are the awards given to the personals, whereas Param Veer Chakra is the highest wartime gallantry award. Its equivalent award is considered during the peacetime is Ashoka Chakra. Ashoka Chakra is the equivalent peacetime award. Of course, Param Vishisht Seva Medal is the highest award given to the meritorious service personals in the armed forces. So, which of the following is the highest wartime gallantry award? Maybe the question asked like this. If the options are Mahavir Chakra option A, Veer Chakra option B, Ashoka Chakra option C and Param Veer Chakra option D, then we go with the answer Param Veer Chakra, since it is the highest decorative wartime gallantry award. We have various institutions which were jointly operated by the Indian Armed Forces. Here are the list of jointly operated Indian institutions. So, National Defence Academy, which is located in Khadakwasla, Maharashtra, and Defence Service Staff College, this is located in Wellington in Tamil Nadu. And National Defence College, the headquarters of this NDC is located in New Delhi. College of Defence Management, this is instituted in Secunderabad, and the Armed Forces Medical College, Pune. These are the list of organizations which were jointly operated by the Indian Armed Forces, that is by Indian Air Force, Indian Navy and Indian Army. Of course, these are the list of institutions which are maintained individually by the Indian Armed Forces. Officers Training Academy, which is located at Chennai, and Indian Military Academy, this is located in Dehradun. Indian Naval Academy located in Ejimala, and Indian Air Force Academy, this is located at Hyderabad. The question may be asked like in which state Indian Air Force Academy is located. The options may be option A Maharashtra, option B Madhya Pradesh, option C Odisha and option D Telangana. The answer is Telangana. And these are the list of another kind of institutions. Army War College, which is located at Mo, Madhya Pradesh. High Altitude Warfare School located at Gulmarg in Jammu and Kashmir. Counter Insurgency and Jungle Warfare School located at Mizoram. College of Military Engineering, this is located in Pune. Based on these headquarters, we may also expect question in our examination. So, previously India is the large importer of ammunitions and defense systems from the various countries, and by establishing Make in India and Made in India, now the government tried to reduce the imports from other foreign countries. It is largely intended to develop and manufacturing the products locally in order to reduce the imports from other countries. Indian Army. Indian Army is considered as the largest in the world, with an active personnel 11,29,900 and 9,60,000 reserve troops were working under Indian Army. So that it is considered as the largest of world, one of the largest in the world. And the highest rank in the Indian Army is considered as the Field Marshal, whereas it is headed by the Chief of Army Staff. And for UN dedicated operations, UN considered operations, one troop is dedicated to United Nations organizations, and around India various commands were established in order to support the Indian Army operations. Its headquarters is located in New Delhi, and the central command of Indian Army is located in Lucknow. The eastern command of Indian Army is located in Kolkata, whereas the northern command of Indian Army is located in Udhampur, whereas southern command of Indian Army is located in Pune, and southwestern command of Indian Army is located in Jaipur, whereas the western command of Indian Army is located in Chandi Mandir, and the Army Training Command of Indian Army is located in Shimla. So from this also we can frame questions like the Northern Command of Indian Army is located in, the option A is Kolkata, option B Pune, option C Jaipur, and option D Udhampur. The answer is Udhampur. Like this we can frame questions and we can expect the questions in our examinations. In order to maintain cooperation and coordination as well as technical development with the other country army wings, Indian Army establishes various exercises and participated in various exercises like 𝗧𝗦𝗔𝗧 𝗬𝗧 Indra, Nomadic Elephant, Rudra Akrosh, and 𝗧𝗦𝗔𝗧. So, if we look in detail, 𝗧𝗦𝗔𝗧 exercise 𝗧𝗦𝗔𝗧 has been carried out by Indian Army and USA Army since 2005 in order to improve the coordination and cooperation between these two army wings. And exercise 𝗬𝗧 is the joint exercise operations carried out by India and France since 2011. These exercises have been taken up. And Indra is the Indo and Russia based army wings since 2003. These are the biannual exercises between India and Russia. Exercise Nomadic Elephant is between Indian Army and Mongolian Army in order to improve the counter-insurgency and counter-terrorism operations. Nomadic Elephant has been carried out by Indian Army and Mongolian Army. And Rudra Akrosh and 𝗧𝗦𝗔𝗧, these two are the Indian military readiness operations. Rudra Akrosh was carried out in the year May 2012, whereas 𝗧𝗦𝗔𝗧 has been carried out in the Thar desert of Rajasthan in order to test the readiness of the Indian Army capabilities. Rudra Akrosh and 𝗧𝗦𝗔𝗧 are carried out. So, based on these exercises also we may expect the questions in our examination, like the exercise Indra is the joint exercise of India and among the following country. The question may be asked like this: if the options are USA, France, Russia and Mongolia, the answer will be given to Russia, so that we can expect the questions in this area. So, Indian Navy is the 5th largest of the world. So, it has various commands around India in order to help the Indian Navy operations. So, Western Navy Command located in Mumbai, Eastern Naval Command located in Visakhapatnam, and Southern Naval Academy located in Kochi. This is also one question area based on the headquarters of various commands. And Indian Navy established various exercises along with the other naval wings of various countries in order to establish the cooperation and the coordination among those naval wings. So, exercise Varun is the joint exercise of Indian Navy and France Navy, and exercise Konkan is the joint exercise of Royal Navy along with the Indian Navy. Exercise Indra is the joint exercises that were established by Russian Navy as well as Indian Navy. And exercise Malabar is the joint exercises carried out by USA and India. Simbex is the joint exercises established by Singapore and India. 𝗵𝗔𝗬𝗎, this is the joint exercise, naval exercise of India, Brazil and South Africa. Of course, exercise in Pacific region were carried out by India, Japan and USA. These are meant for establishing the coordination and cooperation in order to improve the technical aspects and technical specifications of various naval wings. These exercises were carried out. The question may be asked: exercise Varun is the joint exercises of Indian and the following Navy. The options may be Royal Navy, Russian Navy, USA Navy and the France Navy. The answer is France Navy. Like this we can expect questions in our examination. Here are the list of various kinds of ships that were used by the Indian Navy. So, we have carrier type of Indian naval ships, of which INS Virat and INS Vikramaditya. In the recent years, INS Virat will be replaced by INS Vikrant, whereas INS Vikramaditya is also considered as Admiral 𝗂𝗍𝗀, which is obtained from Russia. So, which of the following ship is also known as Admiral 𝗂𝗍𝗀? The options may be INS Virat, INS 𝗧𝗏 and INS Vikramaditya and INS Vikrant. The answer is INS Vikramaditya, since INS Vikramaditya is also considered as Admiral 𝗂𝗍𝗀. And another kind of ships are amphibian carrier docks. Amphibian in the sense it was jointly utilized by Indian Air Force as well as Indian Navy. So, both are having utilizing this kind of ships, then this is called as amphibian docks. INS 𝗧𝗏, which belongs to the Austin class of amphibian docks, is the amphibian dock utilized by Indian Navy. And we have various land ship tanks, of which belongs to Shardul and Magar class land ship tanks. Also Kumbhir class land ship tanks also available in Indian Navy, from which Kumbhir is obtained from Poland, whereas Shardul and Magar are indigenously developed land ship tanks. And another kind of ships that were used by the Indian Navy is destroyers, of which Kolkata class, Delhi class and Rajput class. Kolkata and Delhi class are indigenously developed by the Majgaon Dock Limited, and the home port of these Kolkata and Delhi class destroyers are Mumbai, whereas Rajput class destroyers are built by Komanapura, Ukraine. So, the home port of this Rajput class destroyers is Vizag. And various frigates were used by Indian Navy of classes Shivalik, Talwar, Godavari and Brahmaputra. Shivalik class frigates were developed by Majgaon Dock Limited and its home port is Vizag, whereas Talwar class frigates were developed by Baltic and Yantar corporations. The home port of this Talwar frigates is Mumbai, and Godavari class was developed by Majgaon Dock Limited. Of course, these are to be decommissioned soon. And Brahmaputra class frigates were developed by Garden Reach Shipyard and Engineers, Kolkata. The home port of this Brahmaputra class frigates is Mumbai. The versions and variations of these ships may be asked in the examinations. Talwar class belongs to which category? Frigates, destroyers, land ship tanks, amphibians. The option may be frigates. So, the category to which these kind of ships belongs to is also one main kind of question area in our examinations. So, we must be thoroughly known all these things.